morning everybody, Nigel Hawks, May 17. This is the weekly video, and in this video I'm going to show you an FX setup which you should not miss, because I can assure you the gearbox on FX is very powerful. But before we go any further, it was a pleasure doing the room on Friday of last week, and we managed to get a trade away, and I just wanted to show you, of course, after the end of the market or after the end of the room, we had this wonderful move down that came in, and that held us for the rest of the day here. So there was Hawkeye in good action, and I hope that I showed you how I traded on Friday. You've got to be patient, you've got to wait for the setups, and when they come in you take them, and you've got to be fearless. So now let me just show you a setup for scalping on the FX. And what I do is I look first of all at my fat man, and I set my fat man to 30 minutes 30 minutes fat man, and then I look at the currency pairs, and I'm particularly interested at extremes. So you can see that the brown currency here, which is the British pound, is highly oversold, as is the magenta here, highly overbought rather, and the magenta here is highly oversold. So I'm looking at those two in particular, but I also set up and look at the others. And this morning, when I was actually physically trading this, the pound Swiss was a good setup, and the pound USD. So I then set these up, and you can see that I symbol link them. So I symbol link the fast tick and the slow tick and the medium tick. Let me just expand this out so you can see. I set it up so I have the fast tick and the medium tick, and I make them symbol link the same to each other. And I then go over to my gearbox and pick up the times, the fast and the medium, for each of these time frames, and I'm just waiting for the setups. And I have to tell you, it comes to me nearly every morning. I'm getting something that's coming in. So you can see, for example, here's the pound yen. We know that I'm just going to close that back a little bit. So you can see that the yen is starting to rise here. You can see that I'm getting also the trend is changing for me on the fast. It's also changed for me on the midterm, and I'm getting this. You've still got to wait, you've still got to be patient. And if you hadn't been patient and gone in, you'd have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars of sideways movement and a little bit of grief. And look what happens here. You get the breakout. There's the white, the neutral on the fast trend, and there it is coming down. The volume's gone red. Remember, we use tick volume here, so set your charts to tick volume. The volume goes red here, tick volume after the white. What a fabulous entry that was. And then we say, okay, when do we come out of this? Well, we come out, let me just expand it so that we know. You haven't got this indicator yet, but it will be coming to you. I go and put on the Hawkeye ATR levels, and I put those on, and we use the same rules that we used in the room. And let me just expand this out. If you're trading, whatever you're trading, you divide by 3. You take a third off when it touches the 2. You take, well, we would have entered here, so I put those on in the incorrect place. You put these levels on from the point of entry, the trigger bar. So the trigger bar was there. They will immediately draw themselves from the close of that bar. And what are you doing? You're taking a third off on the 2 level. You're taking another third off at the 3 level. And you're waiting for a close above the 2, which it does do, and you exit all positions. So you got 2 ATRs out of it on 2/3 of your position, and you got 3 ATRs out of it on 1/3 of your position. Now, if you want to re-enter, you can re-enter here, because what has happened, can you see the volume's gone green, green, red? That's another valid entry point that you could have gone in there. So let's stat these off, stat these back on again, and we can go back in. And this was the action this morning, and you can see that on this market again, a third off on the 2 level, a third off on the 3 level. It goes way down, it goes back down through the 4, you're still in here, goes all the way down to the 5. Now any close above the 4 you'd be out. There was the close above the 4, you're out. So it was a terrific move down this morning, and I do assure you that this is happening nearly every day. We're getting these, and the fat man is showing you and leading you the way and is saying, hey, these are the pairs that we should get into. And now you can see, even whilst we've been talking, we've got a lovely little roadkill setup coming in. We can see that the magenta bar, which is the yen, is still rising at a steep angle. The pound is still declining at a steep angle. As soon as this fast goes red, we'd be back in. And that's the same on the pound USD over here. So there's lots going on here, and if you just take time, set up your charts like this, and then what I do also, I link this to any of the other currencies that I see that might be looking good to trade, and I can just click on them and it'll load up here, and then I have to change to the gearbox, to the gear changer to come up with my times, gearbox rather, for my times. But it is a phenomenal trading tool. Do use it. Good luck. See you in the room on Friday. Randy's back. I shall be there at 9 o'clock Eastern.